Okay, good morning all. Welcome to Laksha Academy YouTube channel. This is our third lesson, body fluids. Okay, up to now we have two lessons. One is the digestion absorption. The second one is breathing and exchange of gases. This is the third one, body fluids and their circulation. Body fluids and their circulation. Okay, first let us see the introduction part of this lesson. Then we go to the lymphatic system. Okay, here comes the sponges. Okay, what is the weightage of this lesson in AP Intermediate AP Board IP? In that exam, we expect from this lesson one essay that is 8 marks. Structure of heart is very important in this lesson. And for need point of view, we can expect 2 bits from this lesson. Okay, ECG is very important topic in this lesson. Next, cardiac output. What is the cardiac cycle? What is the cardiac output? How much blood is pumped out by our heart for one minute or for 1 second? How much for one beat? How much blood is pumped out by our heart? Okay, these are the various important aspects in this lesson, mainly ECG, electrocardiogram, what is electrocardiography. These things are very important okay, in this lesson. Okay, let's start our topic. Okay, what is this topic? Body fluids and their circulation. Okay, if you observe the across various animals starting from poriferans, okay, what is the how circulation takes place in poriferan? In poriferan, there is no circulatory system. How transportation takes place in poriferan? Poriferans have water canal system or water transport system is present. Water vascular system is present in echinodermates which help in transportation. And in poriferan, there is a water canal system or water transport system which helps in the transportation of substances. Okay, next, when you come to the coelentrates or cnidarians, in that phylum there is a gastrovascular cavity is there. Gastrovascular cavity, also called coelentral, which helps in the circulation. Okay, vascular means it helps in circulation. Okay, in ctenophores also there is a gastrovascular. Next one, okay, in coelentrates, next in platyhelminthes and ascalminthes, okay, there is a circulation. There is no circulatory system in those animals. Okay, but when it comes in those animals, in ascalminthes, there is pseudocoelomic fluid is present. Okay, when it comes to Annelida, okay, circulatory system evolved for the first time. That too, closer type of circulatory system evolved for the first time in Annelida phylum. Okay, like that, there are so many differences across different phylum. Okay, sponges which belong to the phylum Porifera. Okay, different groups of animals have evolved various methods for transport of substances between the body parts. Okay, different groups of animals have evolved various methods of transport. All animals belong to different phyla, do not have the same type of transport. Okay, they have developed different methods of transport. Okay, simple organisms such as sponges and cnidarians circulate water drawn from their surroundings through their body cavities, facilitating exchange of these substances. Okay, simple organisms. What are the simple organisms here? Simple organisms such as sponges. What is another one? Cnidarians or coelentrate circulate water drawn from their surroundings. Porifera sponges live in water. All sponges are aquatic, some mostly marine, generally marine, and some are freshwater. Example, spongilla. When it comes to cnidarium, okay, almost general, these are mostly marine. Okay, hydra is a freshwater polyp. Okay, you learn those examples there. Okay, when they are totally living in water. There no animal is on land. Okay, these two phyla especially. Okay, as they are in water, okay, they always take water into their body. Okay, when water is taken into the body, in that water there is a food, there is a oxygen, and they utilize those oxygen and food, and the waste material, the water goes out of the body, and along with that water, nitrogenous waste material and other waste material, carbon dioxide, they are taken out of the body. That means here no blood, no lymph, but here water helps in transportation. Simple organisms such as sponges, cnidarians circulate water drawn from their surroundings through their body cavities. And what is the cavity in a poriferan? In poriferan, there is a spongocoel. What is the cavity in the coelentrates or cnidarium? The cavity there, gastrovascular cavity. Okay, the water which is taken from their surroundings, it passes through the cavities. Okay, spongocoel, a central cavity in the poriferum. There, in cnidarium's gastrovascular cavity. Okay, it passes through that, and in that at the time, basically exchange of substances takes place, exchange of gases also takes place. You can observe here in porifera and in coelentratum. In porifera and coelentratum, poriferans here, water is entering into the body through ostia. Okay, porocytes help in the transportation, conduction of water. Then water is passing through the spongocoel. What is that? Spongocoel. Now the water is going outside through osculum. This is the water transport system or water canal system evolved in poriferan, which helps in the nutrition, which helps in excretion, which also helps in exchange of gases. That's about the poriferan. Now come to the coelentrata. In coelenterate, there are two body forms are there. You know very well. Polyp and medusoid, polypoid form and medusoid form. You know polypoid form, example Hydra, Adamsia. Okay, Aurelia is a medusoid form. Okay, you can see this is the umbrella shape, this is the sessile one, this is the polyp, this is medusoid form. Here water entering from water enters into the body from outside, and water also goes outside through here. There is no anus, only mouth is income. There is a blind sac body plan. Here water comes into the body and water goes out. Okay, in that here there is a vascular cavity, gastrovascular cavity, which helps in transportation as well as in digestion. Okay, in this way, okay, in coelentrates, okay, transportation takes place. Next, blood and lymph. Okay, more complex organisms use special circulatory fluids. In poriferans, in cnidarium, there are no circulatory fluid. But more complex, earlier we discussed what? Okay, here we discussed simple organisms. Now we are talking about complex organisms. More complex organisms use special circulatory fluids within their bodies. Okay, they use special circulatory fluids within their body. Why? To transport such materials like oxygen, carbon dioxide. Okay, now food materials, to transport them, they have circulatory fluids. Blood is one of the most commonly used circulatory fluid. You know, earthworm, unladens have blood. Okay, what is the color of the blood in earthworm? The color of the blood in earthworm is, the blood of earthworm is white or red. Okay, several students confuse here. Most of the students, the color of the blood in earthworm is red. Okay, are there RBC in earthworm? No, RBC are not present. Then why blood is red? Here RBC are not present. Hemoglobin, HB, we discussed in previous lesson. HB, hemoglobin is present. Okay, this hemoglobin, where is it? It is present in plasma. Very important point. Okay, generally hemoglobin is present in RBC, but in this animal it is dissolved into the typical invertebrate character. Okay, it is dissolved in the plasma. Okay, blood is one of the most commonly used circulatory fluid by most of the higher organisms, including humans. Blood is the most commonly used circulatory fluid by most of the higher organisms. In our body also we have blood. In higher animals, in addition to blood, another body fluid, the lymph, also helps in the transport of certain substances. What is another fluid? That is lymph. Okay, blood and lymph together constitute the fluid tissues in the body. What are the fluid tissues in the body? Blood and lymph. What are the fluid tissues in the body? What are they? Blood and lymph are the fluid tissues in the body. Right. Now let us take lymphatic system. Okay, what are the components of lymphatic system? Okay, lymphatic system consists of lymphatic system consists of lymph glands, system consists of lymph capillary, lymphatic system consists of lymph vessels, lymphatic system consists of lymph duct, lymphatic system also consists of lymph node. These all are the components of lymphatic system. Okay, lymphatic system consists of lymph glands, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, okay, lymph ducts, okay, lymph nodes. Okay, these all are present in the lymphatic system. You learnt about lymphatic system in 10th class also. The word lymph means what? The word lymph is a colorless fluid. Okay, blood is colorful in our body, which is red in color. RBCs are present, but in lymph does not have that. The word lymph is a Latin word which means water. It is an extensive network. Extensive network. It is spread all over our body. You can see this is a lymphatic system which is spread all over the body. It is an extensive network. Okay, no, telephone networks like Airtel, Geo, they have extensive network throughout our country. Okay, huge network, many cell phone towers covering various cities, towns, and metropolitan cities and villages. Okay, like that, it is an extensive network connecting almost all the body parts. Like it is connecting, network is connecting all the cities and town. It is connecting it is spread to all the body parts. It is an extensive network of thin walled vessels that arises. Okay, it is an extensive network of thin walled vessels. Okay, that arises blind-ended lymph capillaries in most of the tissues of the body. Okay, it is an extensive network of thin walled vessels. It is an extensive network of thin walled vessels that arise as blind end sacs. Okay, it is an extensive network of thin walled vessels that arise as blind ended lymph capillaries in most of the tissues. Blind ended, what does it mean? If you observe here, these are the lymph capillaries. Okay, you can observe here, this is the lymph capillary. Okay, this lymph capillary is like our finger, which has a blind end here. Okay, like that, this lymph capillary also, it is closed here, blind end, not open end. It is blind end. Okay, right. Okay, it is an extensive network of thin-walled vessels that arises. How it is starting in our body parts? It is arising. It is starting as a blind-ended lymph capillaries in most of the tissues of our body. Okay, lymphatic system arises. It starts as, okay, it arises as blind-ended lymph capillaries in most of the tissues of our body. The lymph capillaries, blood capillaries unite and form other such like venules. Okay, venules form veins form cava. Here also lymph capillaries unite. Okay, look at the sequence here. Lymph capillaries unite. Some of the lymph capillaries join and unite to form a tree-like structure of increasingly larger lymph vessels. Okay, lymph capillaries unite and form. Okay, you can observe here lymph capillary. Okay, lymph capillary. Then vessels. Lymph capillaries unite. These are small one. Unite and form lymph vessels. Lymph vessels unite and form. Okay, lymph duct. Okay, lymph duct is formed. Okay, the lymph vessels which finally drain lymph into the veins in the lower neck region. Okay, these lymph vessels and okay, they form lymph veins. Then next lymph ducts, and these lymph ducts finally releasing lymph into the veins. You can observe here. Okay, this is the veins. Okay, they are releasing the lymph into the veins. Okay, that is the meaning of this point. Lymph capillaries unite to form lymph vessels, which finally lymph into the veins in the lower neck region. In the lower neck region, these lymph ducts, okay, release lymph into the blood. Lymphatic system is an open circulatory system. Okay, lymphatic system is an open circulatory system. Okay, right. Come to the lymph capillaries. Now we are starting with the lymph cap. What is the structure of lymph capillaries? What substances enter into lymph capillaries? What substances leave the lymph capillaries? These things. Okay, lymph capillaries are microscopic. They are closed-ended tube. They are closed-ended tubes that form vast network in the intercellular spaces. Okay, here observe here. This is a tissue. There is a tissue. In the tissue, there are cells are present. Cells are present. Okay, in between the cells, there is spaces in the tissue. Spaces are present. Okay, intercellular spaces are present. In those intercellular spaces, you can observe this is one lymph capillary. This is one lymph cap. This is one lymph capillary. Okay, observe the meaning here. Lymph capillaries are microscopic, very small. Closed-ended tubes and that form vast network in the intercellular space, not intracellular. Inter means in between the cells. In between the cells, okay, there are spaces. In that spaces, they form the lymph capillaries are present. They form a huge, very big network. Okay, they are very small, microscopic. What type of ends? They have closed-ended tubes. The walls are composed of, okay, the walls of, for example, this is one lymph capillary. Okay, this is the wall of the lymph capillary. The wall of the lymph capillary, for example, if you take the wall of our house, okay, in a room, okay, the walls are made of cement bricks. Like that, what are present in the walls of the lymph capillary? The walls are composed of endothelial cells. Endothelial cells. Okay, this is one endothelial cell. Okay, this is endothelial cell. Endothelium is simple squamous epithelium present in the lymph capillaries and blood capillaries in blood vessels, that is called as endothelium. Endothelium is derived from the endoderm. It is derived from the endoderm, embryonic layer, germ layer, endoderm. The walls are composed of endothelial cells, and very important one, the walls are composed of endothelial cells with pores. You can observe here between one cell and another cell there is a pore here. Through that pore it is entering interstitial fluid. Here there is a pore and they have pores, and through which interstitial fluid or extracellular fluid. Okay, observe here, this is extracellular fluid is entering. Okay, observe here, interstitial fluid through these pores, it is entering into the capillary. Okay, pores through which interstitial fluid or extracellular fluid and also proteins, microorganisms, absorbed fats can easily enter. For example, if you take our villi, in our small intestine we have finger-like projections called villi. Okay, those villi, inside the villus, there is a lacteal, which is a lymph vessel into which the fats are absorbed into it. That's why they are telling here absorbed fats. Fats are not absorbed into the blood. Fats are first absorbed into the lymph. Okay, fats can easily enter. What are entering into the capillaries here? Extracellular interstitial fluid or extracellular fluid entering into that. Next, proteins are entering into it. Microorganisms are entering into it, and absorbed fats can easily enter into this capillary. The walls of the, finally I repeat once again, the walls of the lymph capillaries are made of endothelial cells. They have pores. Through that pores, what are entering into them? Interstitial fluid, extracellular fluid, proteins, microorganisms, and absorbed fats can easily enter. Next, once the extracellular fluid you have in first year zoology, okay, you learned that what is a lymph and how is it formed. You learned in 2 marks question for IP point of view. Once ECF extracellular fluid enters into the lymph capillaries, it is referred to as a lymph. Okay, once it enters into here, Okay, what is we call it? We call it. Okay, when you are on a road, okay, on a road, okay, you are the one of the person in the society. Once you enter into a school with the uniform, you are a that class student. Okay, it is you are the part of that school. Okay, like that one. Okay, as long as it is here extracellular fluid, okay, it is here in the spaces, interstitial spaces, it is called interstitial fluid. When it enters, now a student is entering here, okay, like into the school, like that when it enters into this lymph capillary, now we call it lymph. Very important one. Okay, once extracellular fluid enters into the lymph capillaries, it is referred to as lymph. Okay, there are the lymph capillary, there is a lymphocyte here. In the lymph, there are lymphocytes and two larger lymphatics, and this is the plasma. This is the plasma and interstitial fluid entering into here, also interstitial fluid entering into the. Okay, you can write down these notes. Lymph capillary blunt, they have blunt end and form network in the extracellular spaces. They form network in extracellular space. Okay, next they are made up of simple squamous epithelium and they have microscopic pores. But the water entering extracellular fluid, microbes entering into the lymph capillaries through these pores. 1 cc of extracellular fluid enters into the lymph capillaries. Now, extracellular fluid is called as lymph. Note down these points in our notebook. Lymph vessels and lymph ducts. Lymph vessels form lymph duct. Lymph vessels, I told you earlier. Lymph capillaries unite and form lymph vessel. Lymph vessels unite and form lymph duct. That means they have increasingly larger diameter. That means, okay, these are very small, and compared to this is larger one. This compared to that one, this is the largest among these three in diameter. Lymph vessels form. Okay, capillaries form lymph vessel. Lymph vessels form lymph duct. Lymph vessels form lymph duct. Vessels and duct are structurally similar to vein. The structure of the vein, not ventricle, structure of the vein is one type of blood vessel, and structure of the lymph vessel and lymph duct, not lymph capillary, are similar. And both, you know that you have already learnt in a lower standard, in 10th standard, that okay, veins have valves. Veins are valvular, like our cycle tube has valve tube, or volleyball they have valve tube, like that. Lymph vessels and lymph ducts also. Okay, lymph vessels, you can observe here, there is a valve. There is a valve. Okay, here. Okay, lymph vessels. Vessels and duct are structurally similar to veins. Very important one. They are not structurally similar to the arteries. And these are valvular. Why they are valvular? Because they have valves here. That's why we are using the term valvular here. Next one, they have smooth muscles. You can observe here. There are smooth muscles are present. Smooth muscles are also present. Okay, in the veins also, in the wall of the vein also, smooth muscles are present. They have smooth, what type of muscles? Smooth muscles. And for peristalsis, due to which lymph flows upwards, flows upward towards the neck. Now the lymph is moving from here to upside, from lower side, from legs to here. Okay, because smooth muscles which cause peristalsis, very important in elementary canal also. You learn peristalsis. Okay, peristalsis, this is very important one. And due to this, lymph flows upwards to the neck. Okay, lymph mixed with the blood at the neck region. Okay, the lymph mixed with the blood where? At the neck region. Okay, that's about lymph capillaries, lymph vessels, and lymph ducts. See again about lymph vessels and ducts here. The lymph capillaries merge. The lymph capillaries join and form large lymphatic vessels or lymph vessels, and which lead into a large lymph ducts. Okay, lymph ducts, lymph ducts. This is the C. Okay, I told you lymph capillaries join lymph vessels, and vessels join and form lymph ducts. The walls of the lymph vessels and ducts are similar to those of veins. I explained you this point, and provided with walls. That's why they are valvular. Okay, the smooth muscles of their walls cause peristaltic waves, pushing the lymph towards the neck region. Okay, this is the structure of the lymph vessel. Okay, you can observe here, okay, lymph capillaries. Lymph capillaries is unite and form lymph vessels, and the lymph vessels join and form, okay, lymph duct. They form lymph duct, and it is releasing the lymph into the venous system. Next, one more important observation you can make here. Okay, here the blood is flowing in two directions. Okay, one is, you can observe here, blood is going in this direction, and in another direction, this is another direction. That means bidirectional. But lymph is always flowing only in one direction only, in one direction, not in the two directions. It is unidirectional flow of lymph always occurs in our body. You can also make an observation here. Okay, observe here. Here this blood is going in upward direction, here blood is going direct downward direction. That means in bidirectional it is flowing. But lymph, you can observe here, only in one direction it is flowing. You can see the black marks here, okay, arrow marks here. In unidirectional flow you can observe here. Okay, that's about lymph capillaries, lymph vessels, and lymph ducts. Okay, next one, thoracic duct. We discuss about this part in the next coming video. Okay, okay, I will start the lymph duct. What is thoracic? Sorry, what is the thoracic duct? How is it formed? Okay, those things will be discussed in the